Is this even live? So long time ago. I haven't like spoken in days, like a month. Right. Hello, this is Raki, SACHIPRO's designer, and oh man, wait, I need to turn off filters, noise suppression. Right. The reason the title of this stream is called Melatonin Talk is not because it's like melatonin inducing and will put you into sleep, but it's because literally I'm on melatonin right now, so I'm really sleepy. But for the last 3 weeks I have been attending concert, live events, and I wanted to say and like more about talk about experiences and insights, some might say, about my experience and how I felt. And finally, in weeks, I finally found some time and peace of mind to finally talk about this one. Right. I haven't spoken so many years, no, months, that I don't know how my voice is conveyed. That is actually first talk topic though. After about a month and a half of vocal training and voice training, I do converged into a conclusion where I'm not really hating my voice. And after exploring possibilities of where my voice can go, as in super high pitched and super forward voice into really lowish voice where it is really spacey and things, I concluded that I don't really hate my quality of voice, but I hate the way I speak. My characteristics, my mannerisms, my manners, and my accent and my pronunciation of the English word. It really concluded into I just don't like how I speak. And I kind of lost my way to how to develop on character, to, I don't know, reform myself, because I need to retune how I speak, how I pronounce, how I talk about, how do I express myself, eloquently, fluently. How do I structure my sentences, and how do I emphasize, and how do I do accent, all the other stuff. So that kind of correlate into how I enjoyed my concert experience. I think, and I have thought, I have thunked that I think there is a barrier that's preventing me from enjoying the concert fully, cause I'm not being in the moment 100%. I'm always kinda spacing out, as in involuntarily, because I can't really concentrate into the performances. Not because I don't want to, but because my mind just like drift away from something I face, and all of these attacks of intrusive thoughts and all of these thoughts about I'd rather do something like this, or I will do something like that, or I should like do something like this. It is just my head is like multitasking to just brought up these questions and brought up these like future actions that I want to partake, whilst there's this like amazing like event is going on. And also there is a problem is of a commitment, since most of the concerts I enjoy and I want to go is in JP, especially in Tokyo. The flights and the hotels and the transits are all some to be like quite some of money. And I think in deep down, I feels like I need to get something out of it. Like I deserve something great. Because I spent too much on tickets, on airplanes and accommodations. So the combinations of my minds keep like drifting away involuntarily because of something's wrong with my head, obviously. And then there's like a urge and me trying to actively trying to get immersed in trying to get something out. So it is kind of clashing inside my head where something is make me like extremely like focused, and but the other like brain conditions is like pulling away from it, and that kind of tires my brain into just spacing out. And that is just the only like beginning of my problems I felt about why I can enjoy the concert fully. Second would be anxiety of not fitting in, which I think time will solve, since if you are like frequent visitor of club events and live performances and concerts, you kind of get a rapport, establishing rapport between the fans that are in the same mind, whether you are just like standing each other or you're talking because you're wearing the same merch on all like those socializing aspects. Where you feel a belongingness, a sense of like belongings within the crowd. But because you are essentially a gaijin, which is not really obvious in first sight, but you don't know anyone in the crowd, you don't know anyone's like habits or how to enjoy the show, or like call outs and like call and response. You are not really invested as in time and experience to like really like fit into the crowd and the group. That makes you kinda awkward to be yourself, whilst you are like the super fan in terms of like performance eyes. You flew in all like not really across the globe but overseas and attending an event just to watch the performance, and as a performance there's a act of like great super fans, but despite that I don't feel like I'm belonging since I'm an outsider. Well, time will solve if I like keep developing rapport between the fans and the regulars, and I learn about the cultures and the scenes. But also the most depressing part about is that I feels like I'm not really ready to do all of that. Social anxiety is like one thing, but I have performance anxiety. I'm not even performing on the stage. I'm on the crowd, but I get performance anxiety, which is strange. Because, there is a part where you can like call out, call and response, sing out, scream, shout, clap, and even like shaking the pen lights. There is some sense of structure where you can't just like go wild in every situation. You need to know when to be quiet, when to be rowdy, and when to be loud, and when to like jump around. And it's actually really okay to not do any of that as long as you're enjoying yourself. But because I have anxiety of not fitting in, I also develop anxiety of what if I couldn't do those fun activities well. So that is so like convoluted problem inside my head where I'm keep like drifting away from the concert, but I'm really trying hard to focus on the concert whilst having the biggest anxiety of not fitting in and not able to perform the fan activities. So that was my biggest concern I felt in 3 weeks ago when I attended a live event called Hooligans. So, but I was kind of hopeful because the reception of the fans towards the new fans and even like outsiders were quite warm and comforting. I just thought I need to be on concert more and more concerts. So in a good note, I think those anxieties and things could be solved from just attending more concerts and be immersed, since around like 6 years ago, I think, or more than 6 years ago, I was like avid rock kid that goes around rock festivals, whether it would be like a really big rock festivals with like really big headliners attending, or just the local rock festivals where just like one or two famous band in the local scenes are coming. I was like going there and just shaking my fist, screaming, and just like moving my body to like freely. And I just like wonder where that rocket went inside me. So experience will solve, I think. And for the concentration problem, I think for now I'm not really diagnosed of like being anything. But if I do be diagnosed as one of the spectrums of the neurodivergent spectrum, I think I can be prescribed something that will be able to focus on something that is right in front of me, rather than thinking about my duties and thinking about what I have to do, even what I like plan to do in work in like weeks ahead. I don't really need to thought about that while I'm like music is blasting in my ears. So yeah, with the help of prescriptions and experiences, I would be able to enjoy the concert a little bit more So that was my kind of like train of thoughts after attending the my live event called Hooligans for like 3 weeks ago. And then last Sunday, around like 6 days ago, I have attended a concert called Raki Fest 2026, which is the concert of the big scale, which all the artists I follow on the label or like rather organizations perform in day stages and the night stages, which was kinda like really positive experiences. I think I'd rather talk about the concert first and then how I felt it last, since I do enjoy the concert to the fullest. In my how should I put it? In my abilities. But yeah, Raki Fest. First is like kind of like critique I want to give, which is I think it is the problem that is centered around all of the talent activities and the label, the organization as itself, which is they have no uniformity in terms of like audio mixings. I felt it as in the individual talent in streaming has a really different really different sense of like audio levels and really different types of balance. And I think generally the direction of audios are lacking. That's because I was really impressed with Tachikawa Stage Gardens, which is the venue. The audio quality up there is superb, honestly. It is kinda like mid-sized and middle-sized arena where it is meant to house music festivals and musical performances in a very high level, which I was really impressed about the audio quality of the audio gears, but I was kind of like being more critical about the audio mixings. Basically what I'm trying to say is that individual talents performances and individual talents instrumentals for the songs were not mixed for live performances and not optimized for live venue is what I think is the biggest problem. Some of the songs were really mixed well to the highest of range, where you can feel the lowest of the subs that's thumping your heart, and the highest of like chit-chatters from the tweeters that like tingles your ears. But most of the time, it really felt like you are listening to a YouTube video. It was really compressed, not really a low end, not really a high end, not really separation, the sense of surrounded audio. And because they are singing over it in the middle range, I think more than half of the time their voice was colliding with the audio itself and created this inaudible and indistinguishable clash of audio that just like not pleasant. Yeah, some artists who are frequent to the concert actually have instrumentals for their performances, which were really nicely implemented. But some of the artists that are like first 3D concerts or like one or twice or first like IRL concerts, it was really conflicting experience because the visuals and the concert itself were really astounding, but the audio was sometimes I literally can't really hear the MCs too. So yeah, that is actually only like one critique I want to give to the concert. Their audio was not really mixed for live staging. And I think this shall be really solved soon in the future. That's unfortunate. Yeah, kind of. But I think I feel this way because I'm picky as fuck. You know? I'm not an audiophile, or I'm not really a sommelier in terms of like audio equipment and audio, but I do have a proud in my ears to feel like basically I have a high standards in terms of like audios. And style wise, I think there's a lot of like styles in audio mixing, whether it's like club audios, like festival audios. But for a music venue, I have a high standard for to actually feel the music rather than hear the music. So I think time will solve this issue, and when they're doing a live mix and they're introducing live band, like a live manipulators, live DJs, I think it should be naturally solved through trial and error and the feedback from us. And I think nobody beside the prickly pricks like me felt in that way because everyone was enjoying the concert. Now it's a positive things, and despite those picky audio and despite the anxiety of like perform as a fan and those like intrusive attacks of doubt inside my head, I was really glad their singing and the voice was heard and actually connected to my heart. And it was magical experience. Like one of the example was like Hachi. She's from Live Union in Raki Music, and she was performing one of her songs that I really can't remember the title, but I was kind of suffering to like intrusive thoughts and my mind drifting away for the half of the songs from the front. But suddenly I just heard her voice. She was singing not just to everybody, but to me. And suddenly the mind were cleared and I was able to finally listen to the lyrics and the song and the vocals. It was really cleared my mind and I was able to listen to the music really well. And I felt really grateful about that experience. So that is really a thought, this is a real like gratitude I want to express toward the talent that made such music. And one more thing is that the more invested you are to the music emotionally or like physically, it really elevates the sound of music. For example, one of the artists called Kona, a singer-songwriter, and she wrote the song called Colorless Summer. And I actually in private practice this song, like vocals and the guitars, and I like recorded like few takes of singing this song, and I felt great and really connected with the song. And then you hear the original singer is like singing their hearts out in the venue, and suddenly all the emotions, all the lyrics that you sing over and over just to get it right, it like rushes over you and you just feel the music itself. You don't care about anything anymore. You don't care about embarrassment. You don't care about performance anxiety. You don't really think about anything, but the music is just inside your head, resonating, vibrating, saturating my head. And that was such amazing experience. And speaking of connections, how should I put it? I felt empowerment, where there is a one artist called Dia, and I think this concert was like her first concert. Dia is an artist that goes like both virtual and the IRL performances, and this festival she performed as an IRL, and she was the first performer to perform in this like really big festival of all the artists in the label comes in and perform. So the pressure is immense, and she nailed it. She kind of like really cried about like not able to perform to the best in the Twitter afterwards, but for us that doesn't matter, and it was marvelous performance. And I felt a proudness, empowerment, and a bit of envy too, where I was able to watch these girls' first big concert debut in front of like 1+K people. And that's something. We were in the moment together. She gave her heart out when we answered that heartfelt call to our pen lights and shout. And she will never be able to forget the atmosphere, the scenery, the landscape we prepared for her. We painted with pen lights. Her like personal color, her like iconic color, what her theme colors, her key colors is red, and the venue was all painted in red, and that was beautiful experience. Just to be able to watch someone's grand debut for the first time, and to be part of that memory for the rest of my life and rest of her life is really connecting, empowering, a lovely and really amazing proudness I felt. Even though I'm not like the biggest follower of her, not because I don't like her, I really like her, but like unfortunately the streaming time and the music and the releases are not really like aligned with my time. But despite that, it was really mesmerizing. Such a mesmerizing. And it was really mesmerizing when visuals, MCs, musics, lightings, and fans are all like getting together. There's a one artist called Hao, which she does a minsoku like in folk music, like Japanese like folk music arrangement and fusions and a stylized music, and she is speaking in poetry. And as soon as she just like popped into the stage and sang the first song, everyone was engulfed in the wave of those folk music. Everyone was like suddenly wearing kimonos and wearing like paper like umbrellas and spinning through like sakura petals or something, and those are really mesmerizing. And I felt more than just singing, some artists are talented to perform. It was really cool sight, like amazing. Some talents can not really like dance, but the way they hoist their movements, way they like flow on the rhythms and do a little dance, they'll do a little pose over there. And some talents are making that really mesmerizing. And sometimes you are forgetting your pen nights. You are just standing there like a child who first did the fireworks. You're just standing there and just admire what is like going on in front of you. And it was such a joyful moment where you are suddenly forgetting about everything you're concerned about, you and the concert. You forgot everything and just stood there mesmerized. So everything is like going on in front of you and you are just immersed. Not care about penalized, not care about how your feet hurts, not really care about how you're cold because the AC was like blasting. You don't care about anything but the moment, and it was really amazing. And lastly, for the concert, there is a new trend word called dopagaki, which gaki means like really young and childish person, and dopa is dopamines. Well, in the Eastern, I don't know, it's like a really common thing in like a Western side of the world, but Eastern side of the world, dopamine is kind of become like synonym of stimulant, where if you're like watching a short form videos, or if you're eating a really nice piece of food, you are stimulated with dopamines. So in that line, dopagaki means kids that only chase a dopamine-inducing behavior, like clubbing, eating like spicy food, like enjoying short form media. And I really doubted myself to be like become one of them, but I don't think I can deny dopagaki allegations, because there is some artist that really hypes up the venue, and you can't just like stand there. You have to jump, you have to like shake your fist. You have to like you have to just like extend your arms. You have to jump. You have to like dance even, and just to like, because there is like a rush of feeling goodness, because there is something really stimulating is going on in front of you. And there is like particular artists, they're like more like a hip-hop side, they're doing this really well, mainly called the Hongtahans and the Kemonos. And their performances just like riles you up. I think that's the most like adequate description of their songs. They riles you up. They riles you up to the point where you cannot help yourself to jump and like swinging your arms and like ready to eat something like and all of the fans of that group were like jumping, and all of the fans of the other group was like really kind of confused because of the energy. So yeah, I don't think I will escape Topogaki allegations, and frankly I really don't want to. I do realize again in this time of the day I enjoy a fast EDMs and fast hip-hops and fast rock and metals. The rush is real. It was amazing. But then there's like one thing I feel insecure about, which is kind of connected to my first topic, which is my voice. I cannot really shout. There is a limitation of how I can speak. I can't really shout in loud voices. I can't really shout in like really loud voices, and there is a songs that you want to chant along and you want to sing along, and sometimes the artist like asking for it, and it's because I cannot really shout and make my voice heard. I feel like I'm missing out. There's like a certain joy where you align yourself with all the other fans that are saying the same thing in the same time, to really feels like you're connecting to this amazing crowd, to the artist. So that is something I feel like I'm missing out a lot. But again, I think the time will my soul, since like who knows, maybe I can, even if I don't really want to, I can't like shout that loud, like singing along outside, just outside my mouth is plenty. So it is also time will tell problem. And to do that, I need to work not really hard. I don't want to work hard. I want to work. I don't really want to work and just like accept money. At least you're trying to add the energy into what you can. Yes, fuck yeah. And yeah, concert was like that. It was really feeling amazing. Outside of the concert, this is kinda uncharacteristic to me, but I was socializing. I beginning to draw a lot of the artists and talent I grew fond of. And because this is a kind of like small community, if you are like keep drawing and keep contributing to the fans communities, you are kind of being get followed and recognized. And there is like quote unquote incidents, not really like a bad incident, but someone was like doing very unique thing, and I was like aiding them to create that into like elevate that into like fan activities. And my drawings and like designs kind of spreaded these like these fan activities like further than he could expect. And I was kind of like being recognized because of that. And of course there is I did like make like drawing them and make it as like a sticker and hand it out in the concert, outside of the concert venue when there's like a free time. And almost started a trend with the community. I aided the community and I'm really proud of it. And I really felt great to be recognized, and I was feeling great to be like acknowledged by my work, cause not control another side, but the work I do is like I do for necessities, but the drawings of them and designs for them are kind of like my passion. It is like work of passion. And since my passion is the purest form of love, it really felt nice to be acknowledged by my work. And I want to continue this more and more and more and more and more. I really want to do like dozen activities. My goal is to be able to attend Comic-Con, the comic market, the biggest doujin festival in Japan. If I really like get help from the like locals and the regulars to the scenes, maybe I can like put my work and like collaborative like work into the Comic-Cons and like announce and show my work over there. Not because of the profits. I don't really care if I like lose money or like not making profit. I just want I think it's a great success if I can like cover the print fee. So I really wanted to experience the doujin side of the fandoms, because like creating is always like my forte, and creating is always like my passion, whether it be like drawings and designs and visuals and 3Ds, whatever. And yeah, I really want to do doujin activities more, and I have to like essentially I have to work after work. After my like necessary work is done, I come home and I do my passion work to I don't know, be passionate and further to be acknowledged. And I really feels great to have these attentions toward my work where I really put myself into it. Yes. I really feel great. I really felt great. Feeling amazing to get recognized, like getting attentions, and like, you are that person that did like a thing. And I was like, yes, I really like proud of that one too. Like, how about my new work? I like those conversations and interactions, and like there's like I'm not the only one that doing these things. There's people who doing like network print, which is Japanese system where you can print certain artworks through, or like photos in like convenience stores, and they're releasing like those ones, and they're like spreading out stickers and little trinkets in the concert venue and outside. So yes, I really satisfied about those activities of mine. And lastly, this could become like too dark of the story, or can be hopeful, but I think I want to perform in the stage. The more and more I saw like those amazing singers, that amazing artists, dancers, singer-songwriters, the amount of feel that I like, how should I put it? The amount of envy I felt was equal to the amount that I feel awe. Where and like if I like perform, it wouldn't be like my first time. I have like performed in front of 200 like peoples in like schools, or like 50 peoples in like when I was in like school band days. But this is also like the desire to like being acknowledged by my work. I want to like perform with my own work, whether it be music or whether it be like my mix of music, or like my lyrics of the music, where it kind of rekindled, not really rekindled. Kindled means it like goes somewhere, but this is just like a baseless envy and baseless hope and wishes that I want to perform on the stage. Cause like frankly, I have like nothing to perform, and I have no like themes, I have like no musics, I don't have anything to really do something regarding like these urges. But what I really strongly felt is that, man, I want to perform. I want to show what I can do. I want to show what I made, what I built. And that's what I felt. Of course, it will take a decades, you know? 'Cause my instrumental skills, like my like playing skills of the instruments, are subpar at best. my singing is non-existent, and I'm getting really hot talking about like 1 hours. But despite all of that, you know, I wanted to perform. And that desire is real. And if I like think about it, I always like enjoyed performing on the stage better than like be myself in the crowd. Since if you are on the stage, that means you're prepared. You're prepared to do something great. You're prepared to rock. You're prepared to spit some bars, sing your heart out. You have practiced over and over and over again to perform maybe like 20 minutes, maybe like 6 minutes, maybe even like one songs. But if you are ready, and if you are like doing your best on the stage, you don't really think about anything else. You're just vibing on the stage. And I do miss the feeling where I have become one with the music, and yeah. And I was really afraid to admit it. Like, frankly, it is embarrassing, you know? I don't have experience. I don't have talents. Like, who knows? But I think I don't have a talent in music. Because, and like, it's socially, if you are trying to do something new that is vastly different from your expertise, it is frowned upon. And because of that, I was really afraid to admit that I want to perform for the longest of times. But because they were really giving all their hearts out, their sincerity, how they practiced, selected the song, and developed and really researched how they wanted to present themselves as a little project, felt amazing. And because of the sincerity, that honesty, that raw passion, it rubbed off to me. That it is not a feeling of, wow, they are doing it, maybe I can do so. No. That is like undermining them because I'm so shit at doing so. But it is like more like, because they are doing it so like gallantly, bravely, and vibrant, and like amazing, you kind of feels like, wow, what if I want to do that too? You're inspired in a easy term. That is beautiful thing, yes. And like, what if like, I don't know at this point what I can perform, or like having a project that can like continue or get through into like performing. But before I didn't really had any like distant dreams, faraway goals to follow. But now I feel a glimpse of what I want to hope. Like despite all of these problems and despite all of these darkness that is already engulfed most of my minds, their ray of passion somehow lightened me to have a little spot of patch of light inside my heart. Despite all of that, despite all of situations, despite of myself, I felt I want to move forward towards the things that I sincerely want to do. And that was really, really hard to accept, express, like I just said. Because there is like inherent afraidness, inherent like scaredness, inherent like, would you really admit that you want like the first step in the moving forward? Yeah, like it is like same for like people like for example, if you are really into the idol cultures, can you like bravely like say or state that you want to be an idol? I don't think like 99% of the people who would say no. But because of like this envy towards their sincerity, I'm saying in like 1%, yes, I do want to be a performer in whatever form it might take. That was the conclusions and final thoughts of this rambling. I went from the reason why I can enjoy the concert fully into the problem that is preventing me from enjoying the concert and the problems of the concert. But despite all of that, I enjoyed. And some of the mesmerizing and some of the honest and sincerity really felt that I'm proud that I'm a part of this. And ultimately, their little ray of light really like blossomed me some patch of like flower field that I want to nurture. Not like a flower field, it is like a little sprout of passion that is embedded into my heart that I want to nurture, waters and grow. We don't know it will wither out in our early stages or finally blossom into a flower or like spread widely into like some wildflowers. But I want to how do I say this in English? この気持ちを大切にして生きたいです。I want to live by cherishing this little feeling that I felt. Damn. I think I really didn't say this on the stream, but speaking your minds out, even in front of the mic, in the monitors, not just in front of like someone else, is really freeing. Your burdens, your anxieties, and your not so controlled thoughts, not so mangled, not so like structured like thoughts. I want to cherish this precious feeling, yes. And there is a beauty of expressing yourself to whatever things in front of you. Like in the last day of the Japan trip, I went to the shrine and I like donated like 20 yen, which is all I have left in my what's the fucking saifu, the wallet. And I prayed, I bowed twice, I clapped twice, and I prayed what I want to achieve and what I want to do. And I clapped once and bowed and got out. And I sat there in the bench and cried for like 10 minutes. Because it felt so freeing. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in supernatural beings, but because I put myself into the shrine of faith where people gather together and like speak their faith and wishes, I also kinda influenced by that faith and spoken my word with a faith. And that feeling of like speaking your minds out, speaking your heart out with faith in your mind that I will definitely trying to make this work was incredibly freeing. And it kind of felt like a little bit of like burden in my heart, or lifted off, and I just spat it out with my prayers. It's not because the God or supernatural beings just took it from my hands, but I actively just throw it away by just speaking and saying so. And now I don't really feel like that much like freeing because I'm sleepy AF, but I do feel like finally, やっとちゃんと言えた. I feels like I said my piece. I finally said that I have this problem. I finally said I liked this one, and finally said I want to do this one. And that's incredibly freeing too. So in the end of the day, the moral of the story, the conclusion is speak out. Not just thoughts, but in your mouth. Not just like typing around, but actually speak out. It's fine if you just whisper. You don't have to like shout or something, although they're the quiet prayers. But if you verbalize what you want to do inside your heart, inside your plans and everything, you are bound to put the faith in your word, and you're bound to achieve that, no matter what time and resources might take. And I'm more than determined to make those work. And for the first step, I want to focus on like doing those like dozing activities, maybe like going to comic. Like it is like one of my dreams, you know, like operating a booth inside the comic, meeting all of like those amazing artists and amazing fans. So it's an amazing feeling for sure. So for the time being, because the work is kind of hectic right now, so I cannot really hand my PC to Rena to play games. But if the time allows, I will share some of the drawings that I do, just like the hooligan stream I did. If there's like a time that is allowed in late night after my work, or maybe like this time where after in the weekend, because I can I cannot really stream something else, because you know, like we SACHIPRO is collectively kind of like burnt out on playing games. Right now I was like eager to like continue metaphors, but like, you know, it is a game that you requires like plans to like play for 9 hours to get the story right and all the other stuff. So, but yeah, I just want to show a little bit of like progress and what I'm doing as a illustrator. I don't really confident to call myself artist, but I can proudly say I am an illustrator, or イラスト描くものとかSo I do feel great about like saving this time to talk about, like actually like this time is also kind of like scuffed, since I really wanted to do this talking like Monday or Tuesday, but streams that keep happening that I want to catch, and the work is so tiring, and the new med is like putting me to sleep so fast. But now after some therapy meetings and workplace adjustment, and finally the streamers are giving me some time, a little bit of time to speak my mind. So I'm really glad I was able to do this stream once in a while, once in some time. 言ってよかったという気持ち。I feel relieved, and I think I can sleep a good night today. It doesn't mean I wasn't having a good sleep, but today I can sleep really soundly. You know, it's getting late, but this is Saturday. I can sleep until, you know, whatever the time I want to sleep. So good nights everyone, nighty nights, and only dream the bestest of the dreams. And I hope you guys to someday or somewhere spoke out your minds and free yourself from the burdens of keeping everything inside your heart. Speak out. And thanks for watching, and thanks for the cheers, thanks for the thank yous, and I will see you everyone in someday, somewhere, if I find this snippet of times between everything. Good nights, nighty nights. See you later.